Hey guys, we are live. I'm going to give it a minute or two here to catch up, see if I can get everything in, see if I can get myself in. Let's start there. There we go. Switch over to something that I like. Again, this is Steven, aka Even Steven Money. Just giving it a couple minutes here, or giving it a minute or two to start everything live, even though I'm live. All right. Oh, I wanted to show you guys. Let's see. Where did I go this way? No, the other way. Sorry. Check that out. Got some. There we go. Got the Warren Buffett and Charlie Munger, along with the savings and New York or Wall Street actually. But all right, let's get started. All right, guys. Hey, this is Steven, aka Even Steven Money, and we're here on Friday. So thank you so much for joining me. I'm doing this every Friday. So far, we got 2 in a row. We're on our 3rd. So I'm really happy for you to join me. I'm always trying to get better at everything and share some of my knowledge and what I've learned about money, really. I'm always kind of nervous about my connections and making sure it works. So thumbs up if you hear me. Always let me know if something goes wrong. Go ahead and say something in the comments or what have you. If not, I'll assume that we are all set. We're good. But today we're here talking about money like we do every Friday, but today is about making extra money. And making extra money is what I like to call the secret sauce of making money. It's the secret sauce of paying off debt, I should say. And what I wanted to do first was I wanted to read a little something about how I made extra money on eBay, because that's what we're talking here about, making extra money on eBay with Even Steven Money. And I'm going to read something real quickly and just give you an insight on what we're going to talk about today. So what I do is simple. I buy new and gently used men's clothing from garage sales, discount stores, and thrift stores. Then I take these items that I purchase and I resell them on eBay for a profit. That's how I made extra money on eBay. That's it. That's as simple as it comes. I'm going to wave something here on Instagram. I'm really happy they joined. But it's really that simple. I bought items and I resold them for a higher value. Now that's high level. That's looking at it, from a million miles away, right? But I want to talk about a few things about the blog posts and things that I did about how I got started. Some big wins along the way. What I did, from start to finish, getting started with eBay, and some of the things I learned along the way. But I think it's important to say how I got started, because, a lot of it seems unfamiliar. Like, a lot of people would say, oh, I can't sell on eBay, or I don't know how it works, or what have you. And it's almost, how would I say it? Until you do it, you don't really know. So how I got started was, there was a couple different ways. One way I got started was I took the items that I sold. Hey, thanks for joining. I appreciate it, Scott. I took the items that I sold, that I had around the house. The first one that comes to mind was I had a backpack from college. It was a big hiking backpack, and I listed that on eBay and sold it for, if I remember right, it was close to $90. So I had some practice. I took that money and I applied it towards my debt. Another thing while I was in college, again with eBay, was I would go to the Nike outlets and I loved shopping for things for Nike for myself. But I realized that I couldn't buy everything, and also that not every single place, in the United States had a Nike outlet. So what if I could sell these shoes or this shirt and sell it to someone in Nebraska who didn't have access to it? And that's when it kind of clicked, because I would buy things, I would see something that was maybe a size large or a size medium, and I would think that was the best shirt out there. And then I would buy it and I would sell it on eBay. That's how it really got started. Now, I got started with a credit card because I wasn't very good with my money at that point. So, what are you going to do? You learn from your mistakes. But it also gave me the opportunity when I bought from the outlet and the stores, it gave me the opportunity to list it. And then if it didn't help, I would return it because it still had the tags. I was still within the refund store policy. Everything was spot on. So that's how I really got started. So it started with some of the things around the house, and then it moved on to the outlets, especially Nike, and I listed and sold those things. And just a reminder here, I'm going to be talking about I'm going to be talking about money today. We're Money Talk Friday with Steven, aka Even Steven Money, and we're talking about making extra money on eBay. But, so how I got started, right? But I think it's important to talk about, big wins and like what along the way kind of kept me going. And another wave here. I love me some waves here on Instagram, so excuse my arms across the way on Facebook. But one of the stories that one of the stories that I remember, there's two. So the Vince Carter, I went to the Nike outlet and I ended up seeing these shoes, and I thought they were great shoes, and it was a size 10.5, and I wore a size 13 shoe. And so I realized I couldn't purchase them for myself, and I wasn't going to buy them for my dad or anyone else. But I was like, you know what? I think I can sell these. These are great looking shoes. Like, I would buy them if they were in my, if they were in my size. So I ended up buying these shoes it was right around $25 to $30. And they were, I believe the retail was $100 shoes. And I bought that first pair to test it out. And I ended up selling it for, I believe, like $60 or $70. So I made $30 to $40 just by taking the time and making a purchase. It was kind of that proof of concept, like it worked. Say I bought something and what have you. I went back and bought more. They only had 2 or 3 left, but it worked. And it kind of, it got me rolling. But one of the bigger things, another big win for the story, for big win stories, because you want a reason to go out there. Maybe $10 doesn't excite you because, it is about volume. But what I did was I had a great knowledge about golf courses, which I used to work at. If you check out my Michael Jordan piece, you'll know that. But I was familiar with golf courses. I was familiar with golf brands. Hey, thank you. Thank you for joining. I appreciate it. What I learned and what my big win was, I ended up finding this polo shirt it was a Titleist, which is a very popular golf brand. And then Scotty Cameron, which it had a little logo of a Scotty, or the Scottish dog, Scottish Basset Hound, I believe. But so that was the logo, and when I found it, I was excited because I had a feeling something was different. I actually didn't know at that time. I did some research and looked, and it turns out that this shirt, brand new, was going for $150, and even on eBay, they were going for over $100, or they were used or new. So I listed that, and ended up making $100 on that shirt. I sold that for $100. That was my first $100 sale, which was amazing to me. And it again was that proof of concept that something's working. I'm doing something right. There's more things out there that I can make extra money with. And, I want to give you the good stories. I want to share with you, the bad as well. But I also want to tell you kind of how it works and how I did it. And this is going to apply whether you're selling men's clothing or whether you're selling, what do they say, widgets. But before I get to that, I just want to let everyone know we're on Money Talk Friday. We're talking money with Even Steven Money, and today we're talking eBay. I was going to say money again. Excuse me for 1 second. So what did I do from start to finish when I bought the items? So I'm going to use the example of, and this is where I really made my money, was at the thrift store, because that's where the biggest markup was. So I would go into a thrift store, especially one in Chicago. I forget the name at this point, but say any thrift store in Chicago. From start to finish, I would go in there and I would buy gently used men's clothing. We'll keep it at that before we go into too much detail. I would buy those items. I ended up spending around $3 per item. And then I would come home and I would take out, it actually had staples and all the little items, you couldn't tell, but and then I would take off all the tags, all the staples, and then I would take pictures of each one. I would hang it on our doorway, or actually on, hey, thanks for joining, I appreciate it, just wanted to say hi. But I would take it and I would hang it on the doorway, or actually I would take another way, I took the dog picture down and I would put it on our wall because it had a better background. But I would take pictures of all these items. I would take, front, back, side, everything, every picture, the more pictures, the better. And then from there, I had developed a template that actually allowed me to kind of make it go quicker. So I would list them on eBay. And my template was very simple. You put in the description. I ended up using the logo of the item. So VDO, you're right. Village Discount Outlet. Thanks for reminding me. That's where the thrift store was, Village Discount Outlet. But that was my partner who, my wife actually, who let me know. But when we're listing it, so I would put the logo. So like in this example, I'm wearing a Calvin Klein, there we go, Calvin Klein shirt. So I would put a Calvin Klein logo on the top. I would give a brief description of the item, and then I'd also kind of make something fun. So I'd say, okay, you can wear this golf polo to, the office and the golf course, and it's perfect for the summer. So just a little copy of that, and then really just say why I was doing it. Let people know. In this case, I either said it was for extra beer money, or in this case, it was for paying off student loans. Just give them a reason to buy from you rather than someone else. But after you listed the item, I ended up doing best at the end, especially. I ended up doing best offers. Whether it would be, I would list it for a buy it now price, and then I'd give them the option to make a best offer. So if this shirt was $30, I would then allow someone to say, oh, I want it for $20. But once those items were listed, I would go through and list all of them, not all right away, but throughout the week. But then once the item sold, someone, accepted the sale or what have you, they clicked, they paid. Next step was to take off that item off the hanger. I kept everything in a specific closet, and then I put it in, I ended up having these, basically they were envelopes, but they were waterproof envelopes. Again, I learned to get waterproof envelopes later on, but they were a plastic envelope, very cheap. They were like 10 cents a piece. And I did everything through eBay to PayPal, and it allowed me to ship right there, and I would drop it off at my local post office. And it was that simple. That was start to finish. And you can learn all of these things on eBay. There's many great resources out there. But, there's tons of ways to make money using eBay. So just a reminder here, my name's Steven, aka Even Steven Money. We're on Money Talk Friday, and we're talking making extra money on eBay. I like to call it the secret sauce to paying off debt. But so the next thing I wanted to talk about in regards to eBay was, some of the points on how I made money. just real quick, headlines are going to be volume, it's going to be your product, and it's going to be how much you're purchasing the item for and how much you're reselling it. First thing is volume. So number one, no matter what you have, unless you're selling things for thousands and thousands of dollars more than like what you're buying them for, you're going to need volume. So in our example that I said with this polo shirt, if I would buy this for $3 and sell it for $30, that's $27, not including, fees and different things from eBay and what have you. But $27, while great, you're going to have to really increase that volume. You're going to need 10 of these shirts to make $270. You're going to need 100 of these shirts to make $2,700. So it's volume, volume, volume. And it's like anything with sales, that it is a repeat process, whether it's this polo or, another polo. That's how you're making the money, is volume. With that, it's your purchase price. So for me, and again, this doesn't just apply to men's clothing. This applies to anything you're buying, whether you're going to a garage sale, a thrift store, the Nike outlet, any outlet, Marshalls, etc. When you're making those purchases, it's your initial purchase price. That's why thrift stores and garage sales are one of the best ways to do it, because you are buying items for 50 cents, $1, $2, $3, and then you're able to resell them for, the markup is so much higher. So you could be reselling an item for, in the Titleist example, for $100 for a shirt that I bought for $3. So making that initial purchase at a very low cost to you is going to be very important. So make sure that, I like to, when I was doing it, especially with new items, I would look to triple whatever I was buying for that price. So if I bought a shirt for $10, no questions asked, I had to be able to make $30 or be able to sell it for $30. So there was already built in. So it's like when you buy a house, you want to buy it for, as low a cost as possible, because one day you're probably going to sell that house for more, but it's all in your initial purchase. So volume, low price, and one thing that I don't know if I said it before, but completely ignored, it's having a great product. So if you especially when you're buying gently used items, it's having the best item out there. Now, I like to think that this shirt looks brand new, because it is, but this is how new the items have to look. This is how good your product has to be when you're listening. You have to be better. So if I would take a picture and this was wrinkled and it had stains, it's going to sell for either not at all, or it's going to sell for a very low cost and a low price. And that's not what you want. You want it to look the best. You want it to be the highest quality. And for me, I was always looking for high quality brands, top quality. So some examples for me was Tommy Bahama. Tommy Bahama polo shirts are very expensive. I don't buy them new. I don't buy many things new, but Tommy Bahama, Polo Ralph Red. If you go into a Macy's, they can be $80. Calvin Klein, somewhere in between. I believe they're right, and I've been out of the game for a while, but I believe it's like new. It can be $49. So these are items that they're a top brand that not everyone wants to pay full retail price for. I know I don't. And whether you're going and finding it on eBay or the different outlets, you're looking for that top quality. So you're looking for the best brand, the best looking, and you're looking for the best price. So that's what you want to offer to your customers in anything that you're selling. Hey, we got someone else to join. I really appreciate it. Just wanted to wave real quick and remind you why we're here. We're talking money on Friday here with Even Steven Money. We're talking making extra money on eBay, something that I practiced over the last few years to help pay off my student debt. Grab a drink here. So I wanted to give some actionable advice, something that you can do that if you watch this video, if you're watching this video live or you're watching it later, that you can say, okay, you know what, I can do that. That makes sense to me. And it's selling on eBay and it's very simple. So my recommendation, by the way, this can all be found at evenstevenmoney.com. You can check out my Make Extra Money blog post, but it's going to be in the blog post. It's a really good resource, and I'll talk about that as we go as well. But I want to get you started. Actionable item. So go ahead. You need two things. You need money. So hopefully it's your debit card or cash. But you know, if you use a credit card, go right ahead as well. And you're also going to need your phone, and you're going to need internet on your phone. So you need those two things. Head over to either any outlet, any Marshalls, any Ross. Now I'm going to recommend Marshalls at this point. That's where I've seen probably the best quality for the best brand names. But any outlet that you're familiar with, anything that has, you know, a higher quality of item. So once you're there, I actually want you to shop for yourself. I want you to shop for things that you would buy. So if you see, in my example, if you see this shirt and you're like, you know what, that's a great shirt, I could wear that. When you're doing that, what I want you to do is look at what you're purchasing it for. And if they have a retail price sticker on there, go ahead and check that out too. But if there's something that you like, go on to the eBay, either the eBay app, which I recommend, or just go on to ebay.com and do a search for that item. But don't do just a regular search. There's, on the sidebar, there's an advanced search, and it allows you to search by sold items. So items that have already been sold to someone, shipped, and what have you. Because the listing price, that doesn't mean so much to me. I could list an item for $1,000. It doesn't mean it's going to sell. So once you find your item, you know, put it in the description. Like in this case, I would say Calvin Klein polo. That might be too broad of a search. So you might say men's Calvin Klein white polo, size large, or what have you. Because size also is going to, you know, factor in how many searches come up. But once you do that, you're going to see how much it's sold for. So if this shirt is selling for $10 at Marshalls, see if it's selling for 20 or 30 or 40. And my advice is, if it's selling for triple of what you're purchasing it for, so that $10 needs to sell for then 30, make that purchase and list it on eBay. But don't just purchase the first thing that you see. Go through and look for items for you. And it doesn't matter. What's great about this, as I get a little excited about it, is it doesn't have to be your size. It doesn't have to be a small. It doesn't have to be a triple XL. There's so many people out there who are looking for different sizes that are hard to find, that it's not going to matter. And what's great about this, the way I did it previously, and it's kind of a safety net, is you can try to sell that item for however long the return policy is from that store. So if it's a 7-day, 14-day, 30-day, make sure you're checking that store policy. It'll be on your receipt or at their website, but you have that built-in opportunity to return it. So with eBay, you can go ahead and then list it for free, because they end up allowing the first, I believe it's 50 items, to list for free. So you basically get a free roll to see if this item is going to sell. And it might work. First thing you might do is you might hit a home run. You sold this, you made, with fees and all that other stuff, you bought it for $10, sold it for $30, the shipping basically took care of itself, the fees, and you made, say, $15. But you found out how to do it. You walked through, you did all the things that you need. And that's why I recommend doing it this way. It's kind of a built-in safety net. The more you get comfortable, the more you search for items, you're going to find other things out there. And you're going to find what you like and what people like, more importantly. Just because I like this item doesn't mean they like it. But you will find out more and more what other people like. And that's a transition point because it's Steven, aka Even Steven Money. We're talking money today on Money Talk Friday. We're talking making extra money on eBay. And I got about 5 more minutes. I just want to wrap up with a few resources that might be able to help you other than the advice that I just kind of walked through. So and this is on the blog. So if you go to evenstevenmoney.com, my blog will be there. You can check out the Making Extra Money on eBay. It'll have some resources there that I think are really helpful. I'm going to talk about just a couple of them real quick. There is a gentleman named Gary V or Gary Vaynerchuk. He's an entrepreneur and probably social media expert. He actually started a series called Trash Talk. He does this. He actually goes to these garage sales where there's, like the community garage sales that has, say, 100 or what have you, and he buys these items and he relists them on eBay as well. So check out Gary V Trash Talk. It's of course it's on YouTube, but it's also on my website. There's a couple people I mentioned that I talked to through some people that I know. And Jason Butler, it's kind of my same story. He's using all this money to pay off debt. And there's some things that he mentioned. I believe he came up with a list of suggestions. So I mentioned men's clothing, but he lists, I believe it was 100 different ones, and how you can get started. So some great resources to get started. Another gentleman, Joseph Hagg, he actually interviewed him and kind of started talking about it more and what he did. I believe he was selling Jordans, which it actually be very lucrative. I know a couple of people who have done that and made good money. But and then also Seller at Heart is on there as well. And there's a couple great links and resources. It's really how to get started, but also items that you can sell on eBay as well. Because it's all about learning, and you're learning from the good, and you're also learning from the bad, and above all, you're gaining knowledge along the way, and that's what's important. I started off listing it with auctions at selling it for $9.99 and trying to get as much stuff out the door as possible, and that wasn't very lucrative. But I learned, and I sold a lot of items because one, they were very cheap. But so I was selling these same items that I was selling for $9.99. Later on, I learned that the same amount of work that I was doing, I could list these items for $39.99 or $49.99, and then if someone wanted to purchase that for that price, great. But they could also make an offer at $20, and I was already making more money. I was still doing the same amount of work, and that's something that I learned. Like, that was a big aha moment when I was going through it. And you're always going to learn. So that was, I guess, a good or bad example of what I learned. I was not making as much money, and then it kept going up. But lastly, there's so many resources out there. I'm giving you all the ones from evenstevenmoney.com. Check out eBay, go through and, take the time to buy something and sell it. Use your own items around the house, items that, have value, research them. You would be shocked at what sells on eBay. I know I was sometimes with stuff that sold for me. But it's a great opportunity to make some extra money, and that's what we're trying to do. For me, it was paying off debt. That's my story, but your story is going to be different, right? I want to take this last, 30 seconds. I just want to say thank you for everyone who joined, everyone who's watching this, everyone who's going to see it in the future. I like to say that we're in this together. The reason I say that is because, one, you're watching me. And also, you might take some of this information and you might use it in your life. And that's what I really want to do. I want to help other people, and I want to help them make extra money. I want to help them pay off debt. I want to make sure that they understand that I'm here to help them, and they're going to make a difference somehow. And that's why I think that we're in this together. Hey, David, thank you for showing up, and I appreciate the comment. It is true. Uh, we are in it together, whether you're, reading a story on eBay, or you're taking one little nugget of information and helping someone else. So that's all I have today. I'm going to be here every Friday talking money, Money Talk Friday. I'm Steven, aka Even Steven Money. I'm working to be America's favorite money coach. You're going to find out more about me through evenstevenmoney.com and more as time goes on. Make sure to stop here Friday and every day after this. I hope you guys have a great day. I'm going to shut things down. Enjoy your weekend, folks.